Some would call it swag, some call it cockiness, some would call it being a diva. But when you're good, it's not bragging. And elite wide receivers and the confidence they exude often permeates an entire team, and we're going to see a couple of examples of that in this one. Welcome to College Park, Maryland, SECU Stadium, better known as the Snake Pit and home of the Terps. As we'll see a participant from last year's playoff, the USC Trojans, taking on a team from the playoff a year ago, the Maryland Terrapins. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. And the Terrapins about to kick it away and get this season started. And he's going to bring this one out. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. USC. Looking downfield on first down. Throws to the wideout. Got it in the middle. It's Cardi. And he earns a first down, and boy, did he earn it after taking that lick. That type of big play can even make Traveler perk up and take notice.
Hey, man, when I think about USC and just their pass, I just think about explosive. Explosive playmakers, making explosive plays down the field, finding those big wide receivers, making big plays.
That's a way to give yourself some breathing room. Now the second play of the drive from the 36. To the air on first down. He's going to let it go. Oh, he dropped it, and what a missed opportunity early in this football game.
And I think on that last play, that's an example of the quarterback trying to predetermine who he wants to throw to, and instead of letting the defense dictate who gets the ball. Man coverage, that guy was not open that time out on the perimeter of the field. Still, he gave him a chance, but that thing had incompletion written all over it from the moment the ball left his hand.
And they get him down at the 43, but this is the kind of explosive play you want to build on.
QBs like this are so hard to defend. They know what you're doing, and they're getting the ball out fast. They knew they had the corner route. Take advantage. Hit it right now.
And the Trojans come to the line with a new set of downs. Makes the grab. It's Cardi. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
This slot receiver gives defensive coordinators nightmares. You have got to double him virtually on every pass play. He better have safety help over top. Otherwise, this guy's a threat to score every time they throw the ball.
Leaves it with the running back. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. All right, guys, let's think big picture USC. They start the season in the top 5, prime position to make a run. But what's the biggest danger there, Jesse?
Well, they need to avoid complacency. Top 5 tells me you've got potential. You were a good team a year ago. You got a lot of talent. But there's going to be a lot of really tough games on the schedule this year, David. So why not start early right here in week 1 and come shooting out of the cannon?
Shooting out of the cannon with a start that everybody gets to look at, see how good you are. And that first impression is really big, right? Like, you can start climbing quickly and really get a high marks in people's heads if you can start the season on a great note.
Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Snagged in the end zone. Touchdown, Southern Cal. They they strike first, and that opening drive of the season could not have gone better. You want to talk about a great way to start the game and set the tone early.
It's so nice to have a quarterback just get himself into the game and get himself established. You make a couple...
And it's blocked. He picks it up. Remember, he can take it back. He's at the 50. Past the 30. He's at the 10. He takes it all the way back for the 2.
Great job on special teams, getting penetration, getting the block. You've got the convoy. It's a scoop score, 2 points the other way.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. The ball squirts through the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Might be changing the route. From the gun. Give on the inside. Crosses the 30 to the 31 and a 6-yard pickup. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player, you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged. But when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? You're going to get a lot of answers today.
He'll be forced out of bounds after a nice pickup on the run.
And you kind of thought in that situation QB might keep it, but makes the right read. Gets it to the pitch man, and what does he do? Gets downhill. Get downhill and get that first down. New set of downs. Nice execution on the option by this offense.
Zings it complete to the right. Oh, he's got some space. Nice pitch and catch there, and they'll have enough for the first down.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy on them. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
They'll snap it from the 47 on first down. Looking to throw on first down. Throws for the tight end. Almost had the completion, just missed it.
Obviously, when you're playing in weather like this, the ball is very slippery and it's hard to catch. The QB threw a bullet that time, and his receiver just could not reel it in.
So now it's 2nd and long. Looking to fire. Picked off. What a play to set him up. He's running free down the middle. And he's going to take it all the way. Touchdown, USC.
And what a job in coverage by the defense. First, the defender able to get his hand on the ball and tip that up into the air. It lands right into his buddy's hands. He has the convoy, and it is off to the races.
And the extra point is good, and they have an 11-point lead. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. It bounds through the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Maryland has the ball back, and the Terrapin offense ready to go. This possession will be a test after squandering that long drive, throwing a pick six, Jesse.
You're right, Reese. Well, I think this is really dependent, too, on the leaders in this huddle right now to step up and help this offense get back on pace here on this drive.
Yeah, and this defense is frothing at the mouth. They're excited. They're jacked up. They just made a big play. They got all the momentum, so they're ready to hunt.
Looking to scramble. On the run, deep down the right side. And he was off to the races. Finally tripped up at the 36.
Yeah, and the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
He's going to lose a yard on that one. Let's take a minute to talk about Maryland. What an offseason in the recruiting department, reeling in a top 10 class, and you got to think that's going to help.
Man, yeah, it's just nice when you get some recruiting and some excitement, right? Get a top 10 class. You know the talent is really, really good. The young talent pushes the older talent, Jesse, and it just makes the squad obviously so much better.
And with that top 10 class, David, they really feel like they were able to reload the roster, and they think they've got some impact freshmen in this class as well. Can't wait to see what they do today.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Back to pass. Scrambling away. He'll pull it down and run. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
Well, you're making a positive out of a negative. And that time, quarterback, nice job buying time. He's trying to throw the football downfield. Nothing there. So instead of throwing it away and getting the incomplete, just get what you can get and make this next down more manageable.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. They're trying to slow that rush down with the draw. Pass the sticks and still on his feet. The chains will move, and they'll have 1st and 10 from inside the red zone at the 18.
Beautiful play call offensively at the perfect time. In that situation, the defense obviously expecting pass, so they sneak the draw in and gash the defense.
Looking to pass inside the red zone. Snags it! And he was straining for the goal line, but the defense stopped him short. The Terrapins headed quickly to the line. The defense burns their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
Timeout, USC.
They've hit him with back-to-back chunk plays. Now it's 1st and goal. Might be calling a hot route.
Here we go. Under.
Snap in the shotgun. Quarterback now on the run, still looking. Touchdown, Terrapins! Quick strike through the air for the score.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now in game.
Pulled down at the 18, and the decision to bring it out of the end zone was not a good one. Backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. And with this place rocking, the crowd forces a false start. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. RPO complete to open the drive. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the 1st.
The thing I like about the slot receiver, he's really intentional in his route running. The quarterback always knows exactly where he's going to be on the field. They've got great chemistry together.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Wants to go up top. He lets one fly deep. Makes the grab on the left side. Finds a seam. Tag. Touchdown, Trojans. Once he got some room, it was over.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest. And the extra point is good, and they have an 11-point lead.
This offense prides itself on going after you, and they did with that long touchdown pass to finish off a two-play drive. And he's not going to take the touchback. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. We'll see what they can do on this drive that starts at the 16-yard line. They'll leave it with the lone back. Came through like a shot and knocked him down for a loss of 5.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
Lost 5 on that first play, and now it's 2nd and 15. He'll take it himself. A solid run there to create a little space. He's marked down at the 15. You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. From the gun, wants to pass. Brought down at the 16-yard line, and that will likely bring out the punt team. We're through one period, and these receivers are showing out big time. Take a look at the stats. They largely dominated the first quarter and built a nice lead to get started. And the Terrapins line up to punt it away. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. And nobody able to handle that punt. They'll let it bounce and roll out of bounds. This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work. They reeled off a long touchdown drive the last time they had it. Much better field position this time around. Stopped in the backfield, and that'll be a loss of 2.
Yeah, I think the running back kind of went rogue on that last running play. I'm not sure it was designed to go that direction. He tried to make it happen on his own, and unfortunately ended up losing yards.
The Trojans have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Looking to fire. They'll run the screen. There he goes. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Trojans.
Man, oh man, when you got a weapon like that, you got to find him, and you got to give him the ball in space. You have some plays on your play sheet, and some of them just say, that guy, get him the ball, let him do the rest. Dangerous weapon out of the backfield, catching the football, making the big play.
He'll try to tack on one more. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, let's take a look at what's happening in a great top 25 matchup. The home team is just getting blown off the field right now, and at this rate, I'm not sure it won't get worse. The Horned Frogs offensively are slicing through that D like a hot knife through butter. This looks personal out there today. They're trailing by 21 to TCU. For now, it's back to you fellas, but of course, if anything changes, you'll see it right here.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. They'll try the run. Really needed a play like that to get out of their own end. They move the chains. They mark it at the 29.
Man, coaches talked about they want to get this running back involved early and often and create some momentum, and this is a great way to do it. Early in this football game, ripping off an explosive run, get the juices going, and I bet you he's going to get a few more touches today.
Finds a man on the left. And the explosive play, and they're on the move all the way to the Terrapins will hustle to the line.
Offenses love the explosive plays through the air, pushing the ball down the field. And look at this. Sometimes it creates some momentum, and you want to capitalize. So you go get on the ball and get ready to run some no huddle.
At the 42-yard line. Second down coming up.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. They'll move the wide receiver. Rides to the back. He has the first and still on his feet. And they explode on that one, and they've got it down to the 22.
Wow. 4 plays on this drive by the offense. They already got 3 first downs. We knew they had a lot of playmakers coming into this game, and they're showing that right now. This defense is going to have to make a play at some point here and stop the bleeding.
Coming out on first down with the play fake. Got out of trouble and throws. Using the quick game. Tackled there by the defense.
That's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
And the Terrapins have pushed it inside the 20. Second down, they'll go to the air. Complete to the left. Touchdown, Maryland! The offense puts up 6 for that trip to the end zone.
And this receiver is on fire. He's got all the skills that you look for in a big-time target. And that's already his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And he made that extra point, the wet turf, no problem at all.
16.
Looks like he's going to bring it out. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. And guys, USC has the ball back and sending the offense onto the field. The way this game started, you feel as if you have to score a touchdown every time you have it, and now we'll see if they can respond.
Yeah, and I wonder how much pressure that puts on the offense.
Breaks into the open. Now they've got a little room to work with. They're out to the 28 with a first down. For all of the star quality that USC has been built on, good offensive line, strong running game has always been a hallmark.
No doubt about it. I think they're built on, the passing game and explosive playmakers out wide, but they've always had that balance at USC. You got to have a little bit of the boring to go with the glitz and the glamour.
Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Wants to throw on first down. Just too much mustard on that one. Can't miss the target that badly.
Well, they're trying to attack the middle of the field. That time the ball a little too high for his wide receiver, and it falls incomplete.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Back to pass. Got the quick pass. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with that one, and they've got enough for the first down.
Well, this offense told us coming in they were going to challenge this secondary early and often. They were going to use their speed to their advantage and take advantage of this quarterback's touch and arm talent. And they already in the second quarter, they've got over 200 yards thrown.
Movement on the offensive line. That's going to be a false start, and they'll walk it back. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Back behind the chains, 1st and 15. They'll leave it with him. A confident, tough, efficient run gets it up to the 44.
Man, it's nice when you can depend on your big boys up front to make a lane, and you get 5 or 6 yards. You get 5 or 6 yards a pop. You move the ball down the field easily, and more importantly, can get this defense to be more aggressive, to bring DBs close to the line of scrimmage, and then that might open up some big plays down the field.
Quick completion on the out route. A 6-yard pickup that leaves them with 3rd and 4. Well, he comes up with the reception, but not a lot of room to run after that.
Yeah, and I like the QB doing this. I mean, I'm going to find ways to give him the football and see if he can make a miss. And I'm going to bet most of the time that my guy is a little bit more athletic than that defensive guy. Defense won this battle, but I like trying to get this guy the ball in space.
They'll snap it from the gun on 3rd down. Fires to the big fella. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the 1st down. Just not able to shake enough defenders and comes up a little bit short.
And I think a lot of times on 3rd down, Reese, you bet on your guy. When you're an offensive guy, you say, okay, he's going to break a tackle, he's going to get north and south and somehow get the 1st down. Nice tackling by the defense, understanding where they had to get to and forcing the 4th down.
On 4th down, looking to pass. Oh, he's going to try to get it all here. It's picked off. The Heisman contender turns it over, bringing it back.
Nice play by the DB. Most people say offenses have the advantage, right? They know where they're going. They have the footing underneath them. Defensive guys, you still got to guess. You might be a little bit more cautious. No, sir, this defensive back does a great job breaking on the football, going up and making the INT.
One running back in the backfield, and he has it. Got the 1st down and more. Make the stop at the 40, but it's a 10-yard gain and a fresh set of downs.
Defense gives up the pretty big run. They get the 1st down, and listen, you got to reload quick now because this offense, they got their foot on the accelerator.
Slipping, sliding, dancing his way down to the 32. The Terrapins can really attack on this 2nd and short. Give to the back. And he won't quite get there, but boy, after that pickup, just a few inches to go for the 1st. An array of possibilities here. And the Terrapins are facing 3rd and inches. Just going to keep it after the snap. Moving deeper into enemy territory. Move the chains. It's 1st down at the 27. The Terrapins come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Oh, it's a reverse. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Everybody loves those trick plays, man, those misdirections, but the problem is when you stay home and you play the play really disciplined and sound like this defense does, you knock it dead, and a lot of times for a loss and put the offense in a bind.
And the Terrapins trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Plows through the defense. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
Well, they're going RPO. Nice job handing it off, and really good vision there, just getting what he can get, right? Puts his foot in the ground, gets forward, helps this offense find positive yards.
Ball spotted at the 27. They're facing a 3rd and long to try to keep their hopes of a touchdown alive. Making side adjustments here. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. He's got an open man. Makes the grab. Defense right there, and they are set up at the 14. We've got a timeout here late in the 1st half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Inside the 15, 1st and 10 from the 14. Looks as if he's going to run it. He'll be hauled down just inside the 10 at the 9 as they're trying to turn this into a score. The hurry up now, 2nd down, clock ticking. Wants to go up top. It's complete on the right side. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Setting up the screen. Oh, he not only blows it up, he picks it off. And they get the takeaway and prevent points from going up just before the end of the half.
And this is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
Just enough time to get off one final play of the half. Leaves it with the back. That should be the final play of the first half. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. And the Trojans will kick it off to start the second half. The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. Here comes the Maryland offense back onto the field. I imagine we'll see them go right back to work up top after how productive that passing game was in the first half.
And it's interesting. If I'm the defense and I've got the lead, they've had success throwing the football, but we're winning. I don't know that this defense changes too much of what they've done in the first half.
I think they got to do a better job with pass rush. They might want to change their coverages as well because they're probably at this point expecting this offense to have to keep throwing, considering they did have success in the first half.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Wide receiver comes in motion. Off play action. Rushes on him. Incomplete thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm.
And you've seen this formula work at all levels of football. You pressure the quarterback, his numbers start to drop. He's not as efficient. Nice job by the defense.
And this offense just has to find a way to convert this 3rd down, or else they are really in trouble. From the gun, wants to pass. Snagged out of the air. He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a first down.
Oh, you know, that's one as a quarterback. You've thrown the completion, and you're like, dude, can you just turn around and make one guy miss and go get the first? Or can you just stretch out and get the first down? You need your guys to have a little bit more awareness where they are in the field on that play. And even though they got the completion, it's not enough to pick up the first. And now you're staring 4th down right in the face.
This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work. Use the play fake, now to throw. Oh, he's going to try to hit him over the top. A full dive to haul that one in. It is plays like that that'll let you pile up some serious passing yards.
Man, what an effort. I mean, the layout to be able to catch the football, keep it off the ground. Nice job by this receiver, and that's why this quarterback's had a day. Guys making plays all over the field.
Didn't take them long to get into the goal-to-go package. Here they are on first down. They'll try to get it in with the run. He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down. And
the quarterback caught up to and sacked at the 12.
In that second down play, the defense, I think, was expecting pass. So you saw them come firing upfield. They use their speed. They use their athleticism. They win the one-on-ones, and they get a big-time sack.
This defense didn't hang its head. They stood tall after the big play. 3rd and goal coming. He wants it all. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football.
And what a great moment for that young man right there. That's his first career interception in college football. He's a guy that's worked so hard. He wanted to make an impact for his defense this year and comes up with a massive play right there.
Gets him away from trouble. That's a pickup of 6. Mark it at the 10.
We love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Terrapins in a good spot here with 2nd and short.
Here we go, here we go. Shield, ready, go.
They'll keep it on the ground. Pushes the pile for a couple of yards down at the 12.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
And the Terrapins are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short.
Here we go.
Wants to throw on 3rd down. Good quickness to grab it off the bounce. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the 1st down. You know, they say you make your own luck. Not always.
No, and that is so frustrating for a defense. When you get your hand on the ball and make a play and they get the bounce, it's so frustrating. You got to put that behind you. They got the 1st down. They got a good break. We'll get the next one.
Nifty run there. Pickup of 6 out to the 25.
And winning 1st downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on 1st down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in 2nd and short, not a good job by this defense.
The Terrapins with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Right back to it. They went right back to him, and this time the defense was all over him. Nothing to show for that run.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Wants to throw on 3rd down. Oh, and he just flat dropped it. You do not see this guy do that very often. It'll be 4th down. And the Terrapins will punt this one away. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. Looking for running room. He'll get it to the 43-yard line before he stopped. Guys, USC has the ball back and sending the offense onto the field. That last drive was a punch in the gut, throwing the pick in the red zone, Jesse.
Yeah, and it just seemed like there was some miscommunication down there in the red zone. David, this drive, the QB and receivers just have to do a better job being on the same page.
Yeah, and I think you pull the positives, right? We moved the football down the field. We had a chance to score, but we can't let those opportunities slip between our hands. Let's go get some points.
Got 3 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 7. Looking to fire. Unloads to the wideout. Got him downfield. And he'll be run out of bounds, and these guys are piling up some serious yardage totals.
Man, we knew coming into this game just how explosive this offense could be, and a big part of that is their ability to throw the football. They've scored a ton of points, and it's because they can generate plays like that. When this quarterback sees the one-on-one matchup he wants, he is not afraid to pull the trigger, and he hits a big throw there.
And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it. It's amazing how a play by a defensive end in the backfield can really swing the momentum not only of a series but of a game sometimes.
All you're trying to do is create negative.
Pulls it in the end zone. Touchdown, Southern Cal. And with that latest touchdown, he's looking to etch his name alongside the Trojan Immortals at quarterback.
Yeah, and there's so many stars that have played quarterback at USC that when they get the ball and they do their damage, guess what? They win big-time trophies. And this guy, you have days like this, week in and week out, you will be recognized as the best player in college football.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, one of the biggest games of the week is playing out right now. Let's check in on this top 25 battle. The home team is just getting blown off the field right now, and at this rate, I'm not sure it won't get worse. The Horned Frogs offensively are slicing through that D like a hot knife through butter. This looks personal out there today. They're trailing by 21 to TCU. We've got our eye on things here and everything else going on right now, and any updates, you'll see them here, guys.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Slithers into space. Found just enough running room. He picks up 4 to the 15.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Just a short pass to the tight end. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains.
Man, these plays are really, really simple. Really easy to run. I like it. Just drop back as a quarterback, see the big fella, wait for him to get open, hit him, get a nice positive gain.
On first down from their own 22. Now the pitch. Got the first down. Looking for more. Into the secondary on the right. And that's what this option will do to you. They got the pitch man free, and he was off to the races.
Really nice read that time by the quarterback in the option. He had the ball out in the perimeter. He saw his pitch guy open. Nobody accounted for him. So you flip it to him quickly. Nice, accurate pitch out in front of him. Easy catch. And then he's able to do the rest. Look at the speed that time on the perimeter by the pitch man, picking up a massive gain for this offense.
Yeah, another good run. I feel like we could put that on loop, Jesse. Just another good run, another good run, another good run. Over 150 yards on the day. He's been the complete package, showing off all his skills today.
A shot toward the end zone. He caught it. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down. Quarterback keeper. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Terrapins!
It's just so nice to have a signal caller who can make plays through the air and make plays with his feet like this. Runs in for the touchdown. The defense knows I have to account for him every play. That's my quarterback.
He's got it in the end zone for the 2 as they trim more off of that lead. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. And he's going to bring this one out. They get him down, and that'll be the final play of the 3rd period. That's the end of the period, and USC has the lead. And sitting in a good spot as we wrap up the 3rd. Let's take a look at our game stats while we have a break in the action. Here comes the 4th. Time to see who steps up, who makes the winning plays to take home that W. They'll go back to work with a first down in the final period. The give to the lone running back. Not a lot of room there. Give him a couple to the 16.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead, and the offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. They'll run play action. Fire into the right, complete. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
Man, that is how you bring the wood. Great job by the defense. He only gets a yard, and he makes him pay for it with a nice physical tackle.
So 3rd and short from inside the 20. You convert here, and this drive takes on a different complexion. From the gun, wants to pass. He's looking deep. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down. The Trojans will try to pin them back with the punt. A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines, not his best work. Maryland has the ball back and the Terrapin offense ready to go. Things had not gone the way they had planned, but maybe an opportunity to salvage this bumpy ride so far and avoid the upset. Continuing to churn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48. Solid pickup of 4 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 6. Back to pass. Caught near the sticks. It's Darnold. And he'll be marked down, but he's got enough to move the chains. The Terrapins want to move quickly. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Wants to go up top. Makes the grab on the left. All the way down to the 27-yard line before they get him out of bounds, and this offense is threatening.
And that's why this running back's a big weapon here, right? Because not only can he run the ball, but he can catch it too. Even running flat routes when you know the ball's going to be in the air a long way, he can adjust to it and make something good happen after the catch. And quite honestly, they need him because they've thrown a couple of picks now in this game. They've got to find a way to get this guy more involved.
And the Terrapins are on the move. Quarterback making checks. Looking to throw on 1st down. Lets it fly deep downfield. And they won't make the connection, looking to make a big play there.
Now, I understand the sense of urgency for the offense now because you're trailing here by a lot in the 4th quarter, and you're just trying to take a shot to see if you can get on the board and get some of this momentum back. But the problem is the defense understands that, so they're playing coverage, and they're doing a good job on the back end. Nice job forcing the incompletion.
They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the 1st down. They're looking to pass from the red zone. Lets it fly. It's incomplete. He was shooting for the end zone right there.
Well, that looked like it was going to be a completion, but how about the defender making the hit and forcing the incompletion?
Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Linebackers trying to create some confusion. They try to pop a run on the draw. He stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there. It'll be 3rd and long. Handoff from the shotgun. Almost got to the sticks on 3rd down. Able to pick up 6, but they're looking at a 4th and 1. No signs of any kind of kicker as they'll leave the offense out there to try to move those chains. Converts on 4th down, and he's still going. Touchdown, Maryland! You thought they were done. They're not. They're back, baby! Well, if the momentum hadn't shifted before, it certainly has now.
It has, and now you got some game pressure, right? That's beautiful. Now the defense comes out, get you a stop, get aggressive, but the offense a little bit of pressure now because they know if the ball goes back to the other side, they could lose this ball game.
And he's not going to take the touchback. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, hoping for better fortune this time around. They'll go to the ground. Nudges ahead for one out to the 16.
And this is a pressing time for this defense. They've got to understand, they're backed up a little bit. They're going to run the football. They don't want to make a mistake. So I think this is the time I'm a little bit more aggressive. I got to get this football back to my offense because I'm trailing. So I look for this defense to get a little bit aggressive.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Looking to fire. Pulls it in. And he uses the stiff arm to push his way past the sticks and pick up the first down.
Nice job by the running back catching the football and understanding where the first down marker was. I got to go get that first down. He did a nice job of it.
They've got it 1st and 10 from the 25. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Here's the pressure. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17.
And protecting their quarterback is job number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as many as you want to put it up. They got to make sure they take care of him so he can make those plays. Defense wins this rep. They win up front, get to the quarterback, and get the sack.
It's 2nd and long now as this defense has some energy after that last sack. Back to pass. Fires to the wideout. Got his man downfield.
QBs, when they see these zone coverages, man, some of them panic. Some of them throw it too quickly and can make bad decisions. I like how he waited a little bit, waited for the right window, the right opportunity. There's always going to be holes in zones. I just got to be a little bit patient.
Looking downfield on 1st down. And they're not on the same page there.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Now the play fake. He lets it fly. Makes the grab inside the 30. Off and running. Touchdown USC. He broke away from the defense and they couldn't catch him.
Well, the quarterback does a great job with his decision-making. He found the matchup he wanted one-on-one. His tight end's able to stretch the field. He makes the catch and he does the rest of the work himself, running it into the end zone.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. Oh, and the extra point is blocked. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And they finished the drive with a 64-yard scoring toss. Bounces through the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Here comes the Maryland offense back onto the field. To the air on 1st down. Looking to the big tight end. Working that left side. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line. They went up top to pick up the last 1st down. Let's see what they have here. Looking to throw on 1st down. Looking left. He makes the catch. They stop him just short of the 1st down, but it will be 2nd and inches coming up. Wants to go up top. He's taking the deep shot. And he's got it inside the 30-yard line. Everybody has to be set. They have to get it off. Quarterback may change this route. They just keep firing. Skips away from pressure. He throws into the middle of the field. And he is finding wide open defenders all over the field. His third interception of the day. Stopped at the 16 after the interception, and that return has them in business.
Well, man, we've seen explosive offensive firepower all game long, and here we are late in an obvious passing situation trying to get this thing close. The big INT, finally the defense makes a play, and David, it looks like they just closed the door on this one.
Well, and you know, Mr. Quarterback, defense wins championships. And how do you seal a game? The defense coming up with a big moment. Yes, obvious passing situation. You know they're going to throw it. The big INT, and that might seal their fate.
Well, this is a receiver that needs to touch the ball in a variety of ways. They're going to throw it to him, but they're also going to get him involved on jet sweeps.
They're in control of the clock as their friend. You'd have to expect another run here on 2nd and 6. Makes it past the marker. He's got enough for the first down, and that ought to do it. They ought to be able to run out the clock from here. Running out the clock, a mere formality between them and a victory as we have victory formation coming. Defense still has all 3 timeouts. Offense about to take a knee. Maybe everybody's content with where we are heading to the break. What a show both of these teams put on today. Couple of outstanding squads. Hotly contested battle all the way to the very end.
Yeah, we came into this one expecting this to be a back-and-forth battle. We knew it was going to go down late into the 4th quarter. At the end of the day, the higher-ranked team, David, they were really able to lean on those playmakers and that leadership they've got in the locker room.
Yeah, and now I think even more so, you're starting to believe in them. They're battle-tested. This team they find a way to get things done. That's why they're ranked where they're at. And I expect this team to stay in contention for the college football playoff because they're proving week in and week out they're a really good squad.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.